Good evening, short story writers. And first question, before I give you your fiction writing idea for this evening, is basically to encourage any of you who are now almost two-thirds, almost three-quarters of the way through NaNoWriMo. If you are taking part, keep it up. You'll end up with a first draft at the end of it, and that in itself is a massive achievement. Even if you only end up with half of the material, say you planned to write 10 short stories and you only end up with 3 or 4, that's still a massive achievement, because staying focused consistently, it's a habit, but it's a habit that really has to be cultivated for most of us creatives, because I can't speak for everybody else, but I know I am so scattered. So if you're still sort of pursuing that, then well done. You got, 11 days to go thereabouts, but I know you're going to do it, so stay there. Okay, tonight's short story idea is, again, from life in the time of lockdown, life in the time of coronavirus. And one of the consequences of being in close confinement and with another person, this has been shown time and time again, is that sometimes, unfortunately, relationships reach breaking point. So tonight's rather dismal fiction writing prompt is a divorce and or maybe breakup of a family relationship or a friendship. I got a roommate and their habits start to annoy you. So for a classic in this arena of theme would be The Odd Couple, the original Odd Couple. And I guess up to a point where they semi-reprise not their actual characters, but Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau in Grumpy Old Men, which is also a pretty fantastic movie. Very funny. Not number 2. Number 2 is kind of... but not so good, shall we say. But number 1, brilliant. And The Odd Couple, the movie, you can probably get the screenplay because it was originally a stage play, and it's wonderful. So, doesn't need to, and of course those are comedies, but you could be writing something serious if you wanted to, of the in the literary genre. Developing it for the science fiction genre, it doesn't have to literally be lockdown. It could be 2 people on a spacecraft or mining an asteroid and they get on each other's nerves, or they don't, they agree to ignore each other. Ditto science fantasy and ordinary fantasy, I guess, and horror could be 2 people who go on a retreat and they end up summoning some force, either benign or malign. And if it's a thriller stroke action movie, then it could be 2 people who are maybe some sort of military basic training. They are being trained for a mission on the moon, perhaps, and to make sure that they can endure the loneliness, they are put in pairs to see where they can work as a team. So one could turn slightly rogue or turn out to be an enemy agent or something. That is your domain. But what you do is these ideas, you play what if, you change the time, you change the location, you change the environment, you change the personnel, you change, if it's relevant, you change their sexuality or their sex, you change anything you like, anything which leads you to a workable idea. Okay, so divorce, in other words, a relationship, forced or otherwise, leading to a splitting up of that relationship, perhaps with momentous consequences. So, that's the short story idea for this evening. I hope it's useful. If it is, please touch the thumbs up button. And if it's totally and utterly useless, then let Google stroke YouTube know, because they're one and the same basically. Give it a thumbs down, and I will see you tomorrow evening. Happy writing.